Hello, ladies. So today we're just going to go over how I do wireframing and some of the stuff that goes along with that for me. So, first and foremost, I think it's really important to think about your website, the application that you're building, and really think about what field that's in. Is it like a social app? Is it health tech? Is it ed tech? Is it, um, you know, a portfolio situation? I think that's really important because there are some ideas that we have about what those sites look like. So if I am building something that is for education, I probably don't want to make it look like a social site. Or if I want to build something for health tech, I want to follow some of those same conventions and use those to make decisions. While sometimes, companies step out of the box and really change the game. Case in point, if we think back to Snapchat, if you're aware, they really implemented the swiping left and right to get to different areas instead of like the way that Facebook does it. And we saw that implemented in now how Instagram is run. But those things are few and far between, and if you're wanting to instill confidence in what you're building, you might want to follow some of those other conventions. You don't have to, but it is something to keep in mind, especially as you're working on bigger and bigger projects. So with that in mind, I'm going to do some wireframes for a project that I'm working on. One of the things that I know is that the project that I'm working on already has a logo, and this is the color palette that goes with it. So what I've done is I've taken that and I've used two different websites to generate a color palette, and I just wanted to kind of look at what other things were in this because this image is very bright and I think it's too bright to be the main body of a page. So I took those. These are the colors in the logo, and then these are two of the color palettes that were pulled from these two websites. I used both because, I like some of them for some things and some for others, and I just wanted to have an option for shades and colors. And this way I could see them all together and see what I really thought paired well together and what I didn't like as much. So for me, I like this middle brown color. Black is just, it's black. But then I like these two darker, the purple and the teal, more than these light shades. So that's just something that I kept in mind. I pulled this together just really quickly to look and see. Now, I've already done my research, so I know kind of what I'm looking for and what ideas. And the point of wireframing is really to get an idea down on the page so you know where you're going. It's a roadmap. It's really easy, for me at least, without a wireframe to get kind of down in the weeds. And then I've just slapped a bunch of stuff on the page, and then I haven't really thought about what this page is going to look like and how that might inform the way that I structure a page. So I know I'm going to want a header. So I'm going to make this just a box. I'm going to duplicate that box and put it down at the bottom because I know I want a header and a footer. And then for my home page, this is just like my landing page. I know I'm going to have an image over here that's my logo. And then I'm going to have some text here. And I'm going to say that I want an about, a contact, FAQ, and login. How detailed you get on this is really up to you. I like to be a little bit detailed if I know what's going to go there. And that way it helps me really with wireframing. You're going to find your style and how much you need to do. For me, I know this information, so I'm going to put it in there. Then I know for my homepage, I want to put an image here. So I'm going to do an image there. Then I'm going to want another image down here. And then I'm going to want some text. This one I'm going to leave as lorem ipsum because I don't know exactly what that's going to say. And it really doesn't matter at this point. So for me, this is what I want my homepage to look like when you're looking at it on a tablet or a computer screen, something that's larger and in this kind of landscape situation. Then for me, I could also put down here like text that I want this to be the footer. Oh my goodness, double letters today. Footer, so that's going to have like copyright information, all of that. And for me, like, I'm not going to put in all that information. I know what goes in a footer. And that information is less helpful for me than when I think, okay, when I come to this website, before I've even signed in, what links do I want accessible right from the get-go? Another nice thing about this website is that you can lock items together. So if I want to lock all of this together, that as well, I can group and lock them so that I don't accidentally move them. So this is now one image that can move as a bunch, and I can lock it in place so now I can't grab it and move it. I believe you can also make like annotations with this, but I'm not seeing a quick link for that. And honestly, I've done it, but it's never been that helpful for me. If I needed to say like a note about this image, what I end up doing is I do text and I'm like, large image, and then of cat or something like that if I have like an idea of what I want that image to be, and then I just tuck it in there and leave it as a note for myself. And then what I do is I end up taking a screenshot of this and I end up putting it in my files so that I can look back. And I just wireframe as many pages as I need. Since I've already taken a screenshot of this, I can move on and like say I want to do my about page. I want a similar look. This is really nice because it has grids. So you can, like, it kind of grabs it. So I want a larger image here that takes up more of the page, and I want to center it on the page, and then I want the text to kind of follow suit. So I want this, and I want this to be just more. So there we go. Like here's what I think my about page should look like. So I'm just going to take another screenshot of that. And so on and so forth. That's how you would continue. I end up wireframing like quite a few pages at the same time. So let's say, so I've done my home page, I've done my contact page. Let's say that I want let's do the FAQ page. I want a floating nav situation here. So I'm gonna say, oh, I want a box like that that's got a list in it with all the questions. And then I would have a headline here and then a smaller headline and then like an answer to a question. This to me makes sense as to what's going on here. Wireframe it to a way that it makes sense to you. And then like say that I want to click on both of these and copy them, paste them again down here. This I can end up like, it just ends up, you can get as detailed or as not as you want. Wireframing is largely for you. So do it how it makes sense to you so that you can then build a page. By having this, I know like this is going to probably be a row together. This is going to be outside of that. These things are going to be in a div together. Whereas this, if I'm wanting to do something special with the side navigation, like it's stuck to the side of the page and then I can scroll up and down on the page. Doing this helps me figure out how I'm going to want to set up my divs and my sections. And it just really helps me think about that so I don't have to go back and then suddenly add like a bunch of divs and a bunch of containers around things because I didn't plan. So that is a benefit of wireframing. A benefit of this specific platform is that you can also, so they've got like the desktop view up here, they have tablet, phone, and like phone in landscape instead of portrait. So that's really nice in that you can, let's just refresh the page real quick. You can plan for like mobile. So say same thing, same homepage that we did earlier. So I have my header, I've got my footer down here. And then instead of having like the pictures like I did before, where I had an image and some text, depending on the amount of text, this might not come across well on a phone. So maybe what I want to do instead is add my text and then add an image and have it all in one column instead of like the 2-column sort of look that we had going before. Here I can also say, okay, I know that I'm going to want my logo image in the center here, and I'm going to want a hamburger menu. I just made it a list, but like that means something to me, and that's what's important. Does it mean something to you? And is it going to help you get to the next phrase or next stage of your wireframe? Next stage of production from wireframe to actual website application. That is the point of wireframing, in my opinion. From here, I can go and easily think about, okay, what do I want the header to look like? What do I want the footer to look like? What elements need to go in what place? This is just how I wireframe. There are other ways, and I'm sure other people have different opinions on how you do it. Definitely reach out to those resources if you want a better feel, but I just wanted to give you a heads up on how I do it, and hopefully this is beneficial for you. Let me know if you have any questions about anything, if there was something that I didn't go over very well. There are other wireframing websites. I just particularly like this one. I find it really intuitive and easy to use. So that's that. All right. I will link this website and then these two color palette websites in the description down below. If you have any questions again, let me know, and I will talk to you all later.